Welcome to the A-Game Podcast with Nick Lamagna, digging into the minds and experiences of some of today's brightest entrepreneurs in real estate and business, along with Hollywood stars, UFC fighters, and your favorite rock bands. People that have figured out how to overcome obstacles, take chances, live boldly, and no matter what they do, they always bring their A-game.
My guest today on the A-Game Podcast is Alex Rodriguez. She is the founder of Klon Apparel. You can find her website for all sorts of workout gear for women of all shapes and sizes and all kind of comfort levels. So she has a reputation for making some of the most comfortable workout gear out there. She's got a great page. She's got an amazing personality, great energy. Her website is klonapparel.com, KLONAPPAREL.com. You can find that page on Instagram as well at Klon Apparel, and you can also find her on Facebook at Klon Apparel. And Alex is a great person. She's a friend of a friend that was referred to me and definitely did not disappoint. She drops a lot of F-bombs, so full disclosure, you might want to put your earmuffs on or not listen to this in the car with the kids, but people are who they are, and I love it. So I'm never going to censor anybody, and I want their personalities to come through. So she also has a Facebook group that she helps empower women, and she goes into some deep personal stuff on this as well that I think, again, anybody who's successful, the road to success is always bumpy. There's always ups and downs. It's a matter of how do you get past it? How do you get through it? How do you talk yourself into fighting another day and getting yourself off the mat? And I think she's a really inspirational story of somebody who has been through some trials and tribulations and some ups and downs, and she lets her victories define her. And you'll see that she makes a choice to not dwell on the negative. She finds the positive and she finds ways to be successful, and that energy is absolutely contagious. You can literally feel her positive energy pouring through the computer screen. So I hope you guys get a lot out of this, especially any females that are struggling or people that are going through any personal ups and downs. I think you'll get a lot out of hearing her story, and you should definitely follow her on Facebook, follow her on Instagram, and dig in a little bit deeper if you want to become part of her tribe and part of her group to be around. You know, just water finds its own level, like Matt Serra always says. So once again, Alex Rodriguez with Klon Apparel, telling a great story of personal and professional successes through her ups and downs. I think she's absolutely amazing, and I really appreciate her time. So thank you, Alex, and I hope you guys get a lot out of this. Go look at her clothing apparel and go find her on Facebook, and definitely put your earmuffs on because a lot of F-bombs, but good stuff. Thank you, Alex. All right, welcome, Alex Rodriguez. Thank you for jumping on today. We have a mutual friend, Stacy Conkey. And we actually haven't talked before, but I have a few people that I respect and like a lot say a lot of really great things about you, that you are awesome and you're fun, and they insisted that I talk to you as soon as possible. So I appreciate it, but I'll let you tell a little bit about yourself. So it's a little bit new to me as well, but I know you're tied in with a lot of different people doing a lot of different things in marketing and real estate and social media and all kinds of stuff. So talk a little bit about what you do.
I actually own Klon Apparel. It's a clothing brand, and it's size inclusive and it's body positivity. We do size extra small to 4XL, and we're all about just owning you and being your true, real, authentic self and not giving a damn what anyone else has to say about it, and just being healthy, happy you. We do. And then my boyfriend is the one who actually does the real estate stuff that he's talked to with Cole.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how'd you start getting into that? Because I think part of what Stacy thought would gravitate you and I together is that the podcast is the A-Game Podcast. So I like talking to people from all different walks of life and just seeing whatever it is people do, just people who do their best with it and just bring their all to it. And she said on that group text we were on, she's like, this girl brings her A-game to everything. Like, you have to talk to her. So, it seems like you're fully invested in all of it and you believe in it. So, tell me a little bit about what made you want to get into that and what you're trying to achieve with that and kind of just why that became your passion.
Okay, so a few years ago, I actually lost my husband to suicide. And then 20 days later, I lost one of my best friends to suicide as well. So I was in a pretty dark place. I didn't know how to get out of it. So I started going to the gym, and I decided to do a bodybuilding competition. And while I was doing that, I met one of my best friends and actually business partner, Minaz, and we competed together. And then after it, we were still in it, and we would buy like workouts, and we'd do stuff, and I'm like, well, shit, man, this sucks that everything is so expensive in anything health related. It's like, it's fucking insane. Like, it's ridiculous. So one night I'm like looking because I had to buy some new workout things because you don't want to be like, I have a kid. So like, I'm either at the gym squatting a bar or I'm picking up my kid, and I don't want my booty hole showing on either one of those. So like, yeah, it's a problem. Moms can relate, bodybuilders, people in the gym can relate. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to a few manufacturers of like big name brands, and we got some samples in. And then I was like, yo, Minaj, let's just do this. Let's mark these down so that they are affordable for everyone. Everyone can do this. And like, I found happiness through working out and becoming mentally healthy and physically healthy. And it helped me in my life. And I feel like it's the same for anyone else. You can be physically happy, but you also need to be mentally happy. And
That's really cool. You know, like touching on that, I just recently had a friend that did the same thing about a week or two ago, and it was, I've had other people in my life as well, and I think it's such a huge thing for people to find outlets for stuff like that, and just to find ways to work around it and kind of reinvent themselves, and just find ways to deal with that. So I think it's awesome that you found a healthy way to do it, and you found a way to help yourself and found a way to help other people as well in the process. It's really cool. You know, you definitely fulfill a need, because I didn't realize that was even such a big niche with the workout clothing and all that stuff. And then I was doing a real estate event in Long Island, New York, and there was a Lululemon conference or sale or something, and people literally came in from all over the world to get discounts at Lululemon, and I had never even heard of it before. And then everybody asked, they were like, oh my God, yeah, you don't know what that is? And it was just this huge thing everywhere. So I didn't even realize that it was such a big thing, but people are fanatical about their workout.
yes.
So, I mean, you nailed it, because that stuff's pricey, you know?
Yes, exactly. And that's what we're trying to be. Is like, and we're also trying to disrupt the fitness industry that's so fucking serious. Like, you have to look a certain way, and you have to be a certain build, and have to be shredded meat to like be considered fit or healthy, or like be considered a gym goer. No, like, everyone can be a gym goer. Everyone is healthy, and as long as it's good, healthy in their own way. Like, you don't have to be shredded meat. You can be whatever you need to be that's healthy for you.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, people, I always say, like, never make fun of anybody that's at the gym. They're all trying to do their best. They're always trying to get better. And it's, the same thing I tell people that come to the real estate stuff, and they're like, hey, I just started today for the first day. I'm like, you're at the gym. People, you're doing something about it. So, anybody who's there, exactly, you're doing something to make it better. So I love that. And again, if you could make it, it's funny, because even me with with jiu-jitsu, if I buy a new gi, all of a sudden I'll be like, kind of makes me want to go. Like, now I want to go to the gym. Now I want to use it and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So it is like feeling good about it and feeling like comfortable. It does, for some reason, just kick something in you to make you want to go work out, or sometimes it's just that extra push that you need. So I like that for sure.
Exactly. Oh, and touching back on the suicide thing, I'm so sorry that you lost a friend, but I'm also really involved with a group. It's called American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. All over my social media, I like post stuff about it. So if you need like help, like anyone who's struggling, anyone who needs that, it's for survivors. It's for those who need any sort of help, like reach out, and there are outlets for you to go to. So you don't have to do it alone. You're not alone. Just want that together.
I think that's a huge thing, because I didn't, this is probably the first time that there's such a big group of people that have all been directly affected by it. And everybody has their own little story about, like, usually, I've had it with family and with small groups, and there's just kind of maybe 5-6 people, but it's been really eye-opening to have a couple of conversations with 20-30 different people, and have them all have different feelings and different perspectives, and everybody has their different ways of dealing with it. And it's also interesting, because one person's way of dealing with it might be offending somebody else, but that's, you know what I mean? So it's interesting. So just with stuff like that, what are you finding is, I know everybody's probably a little bit different, but what was your experience with people that are going through any type of tragedy or hard times, ways to take a healthy outlook on it, or to get through it, or to, try and focus on the positive?
So my thing is, it's always darkest before the dawn. So like, you're going to have your hardest time at like the darkest time, but you just need to know that you need to keep moving forward, and it's going to get better. And you are a reason why. Like, you are enough. You're a fucking person, and you deserve to tell your story. I can't tell your story for you. So, and I've struggled with depression and everything my whole life. So it's really cool being involved with this organization because they've also helped me realize that, like, I am enough. Like, you are enough. We need to, like, we're stronger together. So you don't have to go through this alone. And it's not such a taboo thing because there are a lot of people struggling with this. So keep moving forward. Like, it may feel like you're treading water, but you've got it, boo. Like, we're all rooting for you.
That's great. That's great. What's some things, because I'm always, people only see the good or the positive. I'm sure with the businesses you're building and your personal and professional lives, people see people succeed or doing good or being happy. And I think people that haven't been through that, or people that are only looking at people's social media and seeing the stuff that they choose to share,
Right.
they're not showing that most people that are successful in anything have probably failed or missed the mark on a ton of other things, or for all the good days that you had, all those dark days that you had before that. But most people let that get the better of them, or they only focus on that. And I find that,
Right.
I don't know what it is about human nature, but people find it very easy to focus on what they don't have, or what they didn't get, or what they didn't achieve, and then quit or give up or wallow in that. What are some things that you have done or found in yourself or in even other people that, to just push through? Because I'm a big believer in just whatever today is, like, worry about today, worry about the thing in front of you, and worry about the other thing tomorrow. And people get overwhelmed looking at all these other things, and it's just like,
Right.
one fight at a time, one day at a time, one emotion at a time. Like, get past it and then worry about the next thing. What do you do to keep yourself in the fight, or what do you tell people that you deal with to keep them just, keeping for one more day till the sun shines,
Live in the moment. So even if you just are feeling really overwhelmed, remember that, like, right now is all you have. And if you choose to end that or not be here anymore, then you won't be able to feel the happiness that's coming for you. So you, like, feel what you need to feel and then try what you can to get past that. And just, I know, so on social media, it's really hard because it's a highlight reel, really, and it's only like maybe 5 or 10% of what's really fucking happening. And most people, like, we all deal with stress. We all deal with rejection. We all deal with, like, the laundry list of shit that we have. So everyone has that. Just because they don't choose to broadcast that on their social media doesn't mean that they don't have it. Like, people are down in the trenches. We're digging, we're working for it. Like, Klon, like, you may only see, like you said, the good of what we have in the highlight reel. But if you were to, like, see behind the scenes, you would see that we all struggle with the same thing. Like, we are all human. So just remember that we're all human and we're not perfect, and just keep moving forward. That's all I can say. Like, keep moving forward. You are enough and you've got this. Like, as hard as it may seem.
Are you finding that as you are surrounding yourself with more people that are successful, that it helps you realize that the people that are doing all these things are just normal people? Like, that was a really big thing for me, that, like, growing up, it's like, oh, that person's on TV, or that person's an athlete, or that person's rich. And then you grow up and the people that you grow up with wind up being successful. And then you're like, oh, no, that's just my friend. He just works hard.
Just a dude. He's just a dude. Yeah, exactly. So it's crazy because, like, Jen and Stacy, they are, like, my people. I fucking love them. Like, no, seriously. And then I always just, like, listen to them because I'm like, that's another thing I would say is surround yourself with people who are going to build you up instead of take you down. Because if you are somewhere that it's a negative environment, you need to cut them off. Even if it's, like, family, friends, like, you can only level up or excel so much as the people that you're around, because you become much like the 5 people you spend the most time with or the most interactions with. So if you want to be happy and joyful, then find people that bring joy and happiness into your life. Or if you're trying to be successful, then go to someone or some people that are successful, and you will learn their tricks and traits and, like, feed off of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you just need to surround yourself with like-minded people so that they help you grow and help them grow.
Some of the people that I've grown up with have become very successful, and some of the people that I've grown up with are still just doing all the same things. And then there's people that don't take excuses and they just go and they do things no matter what. And then there's people that blame well, he's there because of this or he's there because of that. And I've always heard the 5 people in your life, but at the same time, I've also tried to know my audiences. So I have the people that I'm always going to go hang out with and be around, but I'm always going to know not to bring up certain things, or, you know what I mean? Almost like I don't want to cut those people out of my life, but I'm also not going to tolerate like bitching and negativity and stuff. Like I'll cut that off and I'll just leave, So,
Right.
but I forget that sometimes. Like Nicole's a great example of it, that sometimes she'll come to me and say, well, hey, you know what? I think it was the event she met you at. She's like, I wanted to go be around women. And I was like, all right, well, and she's like, well, I wanted people that understand what it's like to be a mom and own a business and be a woman and all these different things. And at first I was a little like offended, like, well, you have me. And she's like, you don't understand what it's like to be and I was like, yeah, no matter what, like I can't relate to that. So as much as she even has supportive people in her life, she needs people that she can go to and just talk about those kind of things and get that stuff off your chest, where if you bring those things up to the wrong people, even though they might love you or they might care about you, they're, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a different thing. They don't speak that language, or they don't understand it. They don't relate. And, it almost seems like you're not grateful sometimes for the problems and things that you're having, but everybody's got their cross to bear. So, I mean, you being through all your ups and downs, have you had people come in and out of your life as you're trying to keep your positive energy and get away from some of those dark times?
I have, yeah. So I've gained new relationships. I've ended old relationships. So, and because you as a person, you're always evolving, you're always moving. And I've actually had relationships that I've ended, and then they have now like come back into my life, and it's actually a relationship that I cherish now. And I couldn't appreciate it then because we weren't able to connect or be, like you were saying, like we couldn't relate. So life is all about like ebbing and flowing. And so you're going to come in contact with people that will stick with you the whole time. And then you're going to come in contact with people who they were with you for like a blip and then they're gone. So you just need to take what you can from those people and learn what you can, and then make yourself better, try and make them better, and then just move with it. Like you said, like some people you're going to connect with and need them and need that connection, and other people you're going to be able to cut off and be like, yeah, thank you for what you offered me and gave me, but it's time for us to go and grow and be. Yeah,
I think that's healthy. And I went to Italy recently with my aunt and my cousin were there, and as we were talking about stuff, we got to talking more than we normally would have. And she said something to me about like, oh, you're coming into your own. And I was like, I really don't feel like I've figured anything out for like what I want or what I should do. What I feel like is I'm a lot more aware now of what I don't want, who I don't want to be around, what I don't want to put up with. So I started to learn like very quickly, okay, I don't want that. I don't like that. I'm not going to put up with that.
yeah,
But I still don't really know what the hell I want or what I'm looking for, which, I feel like is just as important. As I'm starting to learn, like, not necessarily all the things I need and want, but being able to identify quick how to get some of those other things out of the way so I can focus on my plans, which, so always an interesting.
Well, I always tell like anyone who talks to me, because I have a 4-year-old, and anytime, because like I have to teach her how to do things, and I'm like, if they're shitty to you, then don't talk to them. And she's like looks at me like, well, I don't understand that. And I'm like, okay, if they don't bring you something, like if they're not nice to you, if they're not like don't make you laugh, if they don't share their toys, like super basic things that you have to like teach a 4-year-old. So like as an adult, you have to learn that too. Like if this person doesn't offer me or bring me any sort of positive, then don't have them. So it's just crazy, like coming into your own, and like, because I feel the same way that like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I'm just here, just like powering through, you know what I mean? But like I'm learning, and I've removed toxic people or toxic situations, just like watching my 4-year-old on the playground, like play with nice kids versus the mean kids she doesn't play with.
Yeah. Has being a mom helped you identify more stuff that you're saying and doing, and maybe watching her repeat stuff and you going, oh, that's me, or that came from me, I have to be careful of all these different things? Because I'm starting to see it a little bit, even with like nieces and nephews, of like, oh, like I didn't even realize I do that or I say that. And, it kind of points things out that I didn't know I was doing.
Yeah. So I will say I've got a pretty good kid, like, and my boyfriend who helps me raise her, that's her dad. And she's amazing. So we were just at the park the other day, and there was this autistic girl, and she, like, without skipping a beat, she's like, Mom, I'm gonna go play with her. I'm like, okay. So she, like, walks up to her, and she's like, hey, I'm Evie. You wanna play? And she played, and then she was so sweet. And then the rest of the day, like, parents kept coming up and like, she is so sweet. She says please and thank you. Like, she said the fuck word, but like she said please and thank you. So like, I'm like, you know what? I'll pick my battles. I'll have a very polite, nice kid, and she can say the fuck word every now and then. But like, I don't know. So maybe that's my thing, is my mouth. But other than that, I think that she's great.
It's cool though. I think it's awesome too to watch parents that have that attitude and that personality and that good energy, to watch how their kids evolve and grow up. Like even like Nicole, I watch all the amazing things she does, but as excited as I am watching her, I'm more excited to watch the effect it has on her kids and watch how her kids grow up thinking like there's no limitations. I could do whatever I want. I could be whatever I want. Like I've never seen like 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds with that type of just uniqueness of, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm going to wear this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to do this. And I'm like, I think that that's really cool. I didn't have that. I still feel like I don't have it the way that they have it at 5 and 6. So
Right.
awesome.
We just want her to love herself and everyone so truly, and just accept everyone and love everyone. And then, so that's how we are. And then to see her be that way and do that with other people, I always get like teary eyed when I watch her play, because I'm like, she's so freaking sweet. Like, but then it's like people that you're involved with, like Jen and Stacy, they're so loving and so accepting, but it just like makes you want to be that. And like when I met Nicole, I was like, well, goddamn, this lady, like, I just want to hug her because she's like my people. Like, she's so good.
Yeah, I love Stacy. I've known her for a very long time. She was one of the first people I met in the real estate industry. And she's always been awesome. She's always been like so nice. And I love like Nicole's in a position where she's the boss. So people are always coming up to her. They always want something. And she's always like, you know what I love about Stacy and Jennifer? She's like, they don't want anything. They just want to help. Like, they're my cheerleader. They're everybody's cheerleader. And like the same thing with me, like I'll post something and then I'll get like a tag and I'll be like, what is that? I'll see it a couple of days later and it'll be like, oh, somebody check out my friend Nick's podcast or this link or this. Like, they're just awesome. Like, they're everybody's cheerleader. There's no scarcity mentality. Like, they truly just want to help and just want to share and just want to connect. And that's a really awesome thing that I don't find with any, like, a lot of people aren't like that, but she's always like that. Like, I work long events with her. She never gets cranky. She never gets shitty. She never gets nasty. She never gets petty. I love that they're each other's biggest cheerleader. You know, like, that's really cool. I'm almost envious of that. Like, the fact that they're like their biggest supporters. They never bash each other. They build each other up. They believe in each other so much. Like, that to me is so awesome. You know what I mean? I love their energy. I love their relationship. I love everything about them. They're good people.
Yeah, they're good people.
Yeah, good surrounding yourself with people like that. So on the kid side too, like I same way with adults, but one of my buddies, Chuck, he was telling me, he's like, my kids don't listen to what I say, they listen to what I do. So if I go, hey, touch your ear, they touch their ear. If I go, touch your nose, they touch your nose. And then if I go, touch your eyeball, he's like, they're not going to touch their eyeball. They're going to do what I do and touch the top of the head. So I do try and also be aware for people like Nicole and Stacy and them that, like, it's not always about what you say. It's about, like, what you do is really what people are watching. So I think the things that you're doing in those examples are awesome. And the more people that are, I mean, Stacy and Jennifer have like 4, 5, 6 kids, something like that. Like, so it's cool like that the world is going to grow up with like your kids and Nicole's kids and Stacy's kids. And I feel like that's what we need more of, not people who are going to point fingers and complain and come up with reasons why they didn't do anything. Because that was one of the biggest things I learned in Italy was when I would look around, everything was amazing. Like, every corner, every window, everything on the street was done by like, Michelangelo made this, or this person made this, or that person made that. And this was built 2,000 years ago and it's still standing. And there's that person's grave. And you were like, man, like, everybody that did this was just an ordinary person who just did something great. And everybody has that potential in them. But I don't know what it is that people lose that sometimes. So I just love the fact that, there's going to be a whole generation of people coming through that are going to do all these amazing things and change the world.
I agree. Our kids are going to rock it.
Yeah, it's going to be good stuff. So for the clothing line thing, what kind of stuff are you guys doing that makes you able to make it an affordable product and still make it a good business model that these other companies aren't doing?
So what we're doing is, so everything on our site, nothing is over $40. So we make it $40 and less. And then we have created this culture, we call it our tribe. We're a tribe of like-minded individuals that are just, we uplift each other. We have a group on Facebook that we post like workouts or inspirational, whatever. And it's like, it's not your typical like gym vibe or like your fitness vibe. It's really just like a bunch of people that like to drink or like to eat sweets, or like occasionally we go to the gym, we like to hike. And it's just like, so it's like finding the group of people, your niche of people that are good, positive people that uplift you. And so like, yes, I love the clothing side and it's awesome and it's spot proof and it is moisture wicking and all of that. The clothing is rad. But the community and tribe that we've built with it is my favorite part. Like going to events with these women and men and like watching them transform. And then, so we, on our website, all of our models are, like I said, size 00 to size 24. So we've got all shapes and sizes. And at our photo shoot, well, the photo shoots we have done, they're like, I would have never done this if you wouldn't have made me feel like beautiful about myself. So that's another thing that we do is like, we accept you for you. Like you are you and you are rad as shit. So like be you unapologetically and like just fucking rock some clone while you do it. You know what I mean? And then because we made you feel good, you make someone else feel good.
You make somebody feel good, you have them go out and make somebody else feel good. And like, that's the kind of stuff that changes the world. It's not the big stuff, it's the small stuff, you know, and that's what I feel like I'm learning too late in life. You know what I mean? It's literally, it's all the little things that really add up. And that stuff's awesome. There's nothing bad that can come from making somebody feel better about themselves. And, you know, they go do the same thing. Whereas you go and you make somebody feel like shit or insult them, they're going to go do the same thing to somebody else. They're going to go do the same thing to somebody else. So it's all choices.
Right.
You know? So
Exactly.
it's a big deal. That's cool though. I like that sense of community. And, you know, that's another piece that, like my brother, he's a musician for a long time, and he would always feel like, oh, you know what? Like, I feel like I'm doing a lot of the work and, you know, other people aren't, and this person's getting this and that. And it turned out to be a lot of, you know, I guess in that industry, and I talked to a few musicians since then, but they were like, you know, there's a lot of egos. People are on stage. This one's the singer. This one's the guitar player. But then I got him into jiu-jitsu. And in jiu-jitsu, you can't fake what you're doing. Like, it's going to show up. So if you're not showing up and you're not putting the work in, when you show up and get your ass kicked or you're not getting any better, and the guy who's there every day is, everybody knows why that guy's getting better. Everybody knows that guy's on the mat all the time, and you're happy for him. You know what I mean? So I remember he made this post one time, and he was like, man, I wish my musician friends celebrated each other's successes like my jiu-jitsu friends do. And since he's been more of that community, he just overall is like a happier guy, and he's found better people and better relationships. So I feel like that, and my trainer's Matt Serra, and he always calls us like the land. He's like, it's the land of misfit toys. Everybody found each other here, like makes each other feel like they belong. So I think what you're doing is probably serving that same purpose for all those people. And once they get people around them and make them feel good about themselves and make them feel like they belong and they don't have to feel like they're under a microscope, like that's a huge deal. Like I've seen that literally change 36 years of my brother's life in 2 years to a completely different person. So what you're doing is amazing. I think it's awesome. What kind of stuff are you seeing like when people come in there? Because obviously, like you said, it's really probably not about the clothes. It's about just the people and the energy and just helping people find themselves. So what kind of different walks of life of people you coming in that you're seeing them transform from? Because I'm sure they're sharing their stories with you about, you know, it must be nice for you meeting them one way and watching them over 3, 6, 9, 12 months turn into like a completely different person or be more of who they probably were meant to be and wanted to be, you know?
So it's cool because most of the time, so we invite people to the group or we tell people about the group. And most of the time before they post anything in the group, like introduce themselves, they'll send me a private message and be like, hey, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know anyone in the group. And I'm like, just start a conversation, introduce yourself, be like, hey, this is me. I'm like, you can be real and raw. Like whenever I go on there, I'm like, hey, I'm Alex. I've struggled with depression my whole life. Like, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. I like to say the fuck word. I don't really like to wear like normal pants or like leggings, like just be yourself. So then people like, okay, cool. So then they'll comment on posts or comment on things. And then eventually, like those ones are the ones that start posting inspirational quotes for everyone else in there. Or like we did a Klon 8-week transformation and we had 46 people do it. And they weren't posting like their progress pictures or any of their progress in the group, but then I would get their private messages and it was amazing. So then by the end of the 8-week transformation, people who, even if they didn't do the full workout, if they just like went to the gym, they're like, I feel so much better about me with like having someone or this to like go to. And like you like even just seeing like their before and after pictures of like the happiness in their whole like persona and their aura is incredible. And that's my favorite part, is just watching them transform from like sad puppy to just this ball of energy and light.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
What are you seeing as far as, I guess I see it on the athletic side, on the physical side, I guess anything in life, especially now with social media when people are putting their stuff out there. But I think it's so important, like you mentioned it earlier, that people just have to be excited about where they are and who they are and love them for themselves and just trying to be a better them instead of, well, I'm here, but that person's there. Because you can always compare yourself to somebody who's doing better. You can always compare yourself to somebody who's doing worse. And even like on the real estate side, like, oh man, I just landed this deal. And then I'll look on Facebook and somebody will post something else that they're doing that's like 4 times better than me and I'm like, it makes me feel shitty about what I did. And I was like, wait a minute, like that has nothing to do with me. And I'm sure on the fitness side too, like I go to jiu-jitsu and I'm like, man, this guy was a blue belt when I, was already a brown belt and that was better than me. And I'm not, but on that side of it, for some reason, I'm not mad at it. I'm like, yeah, that person earned it. And I don't know what the mental thing is there. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I think on the jiu-jitsu side, I know I'm doing everything I can with what I can. Whereas on the real estate side, maybe I feel like when somebody's saying all the things I'm doing, I feel like internally I should be doing more. But it's easy to discourage yourself or psych yourself out. I'll never be as skinny as that person, or I'll never be as good as that person, or I'll never get as many deals as that guy. And it could be an easy thing to put on yourself and go, well, fuck it, I quit. Like, well, I don't, talking yourself off that ledge, which is a daily battle for me with everything of like, doesn't matter. I just have to do better for myself today. I mean, you said you struggle with depression and things, so I'm sure you have a lot of that inner dialogue.
Yeah, like every day it's a struggle. It's like, well, and I would say with that, like comparing yourself to someone's best or someone's worst, like think of it like an iceberg. Like you always see those pictures on social media, right? Where there's like this much of the iceberg and then the rest of it. So like you can't compare your level 4 to someone else's like 152 because you're never going to be same. Like, and the trials that you have, maybe they didn't have. Like, you don't know what they've dealt with. They don't know what you've dealt with. And just because they landed a big, like, thing, like a big portfolio or a huge property or a big deal, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for you. So it happened for them. Keep grinding, keep working, and it's going to happen. So if you put in the work, you will get the results in anything, in your fitness, in your health, in your real estate, and what, like your work, everything. So put in your work and the results will follow. And so like, and also live for today. So be appreciative of what you have right now, because today is all you've got. You don't know what tomorrow brings, and yesterday you can't fix anything about it. Just be your best self today. Keep working forward and results will follow.
That's very well said. I like that. Like, it's the whole podcast, just bring your A game and you'll find some success with whatever you're doing, For somebody starting out with, if they want to start a business or they want to just start getting into fitness or getting into any kind of like new venture that they might be a little scared or nervous, what's an advice you can give somebody to get started, or, some things that you wish you would have been able to tell yourself when you first started getting going with your business or your fitness?
I would say jump. Go. You have to take the first step or else you will never do it. You will always sit back and be like, oh, I can't, like, I don't know much about the gym. When I first started fitness stuff, I literally knew zero. Like, I knew that running was good for you because it burnt calories, but other than that, like, I didn't actually do it. So, like, I did some research, I hired a coach, and, like, there's coaches for everything. If you need coach for fitness, hire a fitness coach. If you need coach for, like, your mental well-being, hire a, like, coach or go see a counselor. there are coaches that are like aces in places. So pick your people or go to people in your group. If you know people in your group that are into certain things, ask their help, ask their advice. It's okay to ask for help, but like take the first step and ask for fucking help. Like no one will think that you're like weak for asking for help or just going for it. So that's huge.
Yeah, agree. The that aces in places, I like that. That's really well said. It's funny because people get weird about wanting to spend money for coaches. They will, oh, I'll just do it all on my own, but then they're not happy with the results, or like sometimes it's just like I had hired an accountability coach at one point, just so if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing on Monday, he wouldn't like leave me out about it, but like I knew I had to answer to him. So it was just, even though I'm pretty self-accountable, I'm pretty self-reliable, I can get things done. That difference of just knowing that on Monday I was going to have to talk to that person and I was going to have to answer for the things I didn't do pushed me to just get that much little bit done or prioritize things a little bit better. You know, sometimes I've hired coaches for everything, for jiu-jitsu, for real estate, for all kinds of different real estate. And even when you think you're at the top of the level here and you're on the height of the mountain, then you see somebody fly over and you go, I want to be where that guy is. Now I'm going to, like over the years, I'm always paying for new coaches I call them black belts. Everything I want to do, I want to surround myself with a black belt who has already taken all the beatings. They've already tried the 1,000 different ways that I'm going to try it. It's just, how do I get here as fast and as painless as possible? But then people want that results, but they don't want to pay for it, or they feel like they're being sold into it, where anybody that I've talked to, whether it's Nicole, Stacy, any of the mentors that I've had have all had mentors, they've made that money back or made that time back or gotten the results 100 times over for that. But people get in their own way, or vice versa. If they pay for something, they feel like, well, I paid for this and now I'm not accountable for it. Money's just going to start falling out of the sky. So what's your experience with that, and, you know, paying for your races and places and the results there versus people who don't believe in that or want to be getting their own way about that?
Well, so I've actually had a few bad experiences with coaches that said that they were coaches and they were going to help me and like make me so much better, blah, blah, blah. And all I ended up doing was I was just paying them to pay them. Like they didn't ever hold me accountable for anything. They didn't like help, like elevate me in any sort of way. So I could see why people would be worried or scared to go that direction, because there are coaches that say that they're coaches or accountability coaches or even physical trainers or whatever it is, and they're not. So I would say do your research. It's okay to invest in yourself to make yourself better, because that's what you're doing when you hire someone. Like you're investing not in them, but you're investing in yourself. Because if you pick a good coach, like Jen and Stacy coach me, and like I try everything I can to like make sure that I'm held accountable and like doing my shit for them. Like you said, like when you have that coach, like, well, shit, like I better make sure that I do this. Or like if you want to try like something small at first, set a goal and be like, by this day of this week, like I'm going to have XYZ done. And if you can do that without a coach, awesome. But if like you need that extra push or that extra accountability, like I need that. Like apparently you wanted that too. So it's okay to invest in yourself with someone else, especially someone who cares about your success.
Yeah, I feel like people who love it, you can tell the difference. And you know, I've paid for a lot of really bad coaches, and I've gotten a lot of bad information. I've gotten people that, but now you know, I learned to ask those questions, and I learned how to do my research and identify them. And a big thing I've learned as well is sometimes people are good at what they do, and sometimes people are good teachers for what they do or good coaches for what they do, but sometimes they're not really a good fit as a coach for me. You know, and that's a thing where people are very picky about their friends and their people that they date or the people that they want to marry. But then when you go into any type of business or mentoring or professional relationship, they don't take any of that inner dialogue or feeling or compatibilityness into that. And I feel like it's just the same thing. If you have a fitness coach or a business coach, or you're going to hire a contractor or somebody, you're dealing with them every day. So even though that they're good, if you don't get along with them, if you feel like they don't understand you or you don't understand them, or you're not getting like that feeling like it's just weird and it's awkward, even if they're good at it, you're not going to have a good experience with them. You're not going to get a good result with them. But I don't know why people discount that on a professional relationship versus a personal, because to me, it's just as important, you know?
It's the same. Well, and I feel like most good coaches, if you talk to them, because I feel like a bad coach is like, yeah, hire me and then we can talk. But a good coach is like, no, let's like talk about this and see if this works for you. And if it does, then we can talk about our options. And if not, then I'm okay with that. Like, I just want you to succeed. And that's what I found with good coaches is like, no, we want you to succeed. Like, you're investing in you, we're investing in you. So if a coach is like, oh no, I won't talk to you until you like sign on the dotted lines, and that's not the coach you want anyway, right? Like, you want someone who cares about you as a person and your successes, not just your checkbook.
Yeah.
So I would say look for that. Look for like real raw people who care, and then like try and have conversation with them before you hire them and see if it's a good fit. I don't think that's crazy. Like you said, you need to surround yourself with people just like you do in your life. Like, your coaches should be your cheerleaders as well.
Yeah, I never want to be the smartest guy in the room. I feel like the second I feel like I have it all down and I know everything, that's the second it's too late and everything passed you by, especially now with the way technology changes and just everything changes. Even one of my buddies that I just interviewed was he was just running for like New Jersey State Assemblyman, and he was even talking about the way politics are changing, and they're trying to make like apps for things so people are more tuned in, and like we're watching the city council meetings on YouTube, and you can watch them on your phone, and it's just a crazy way that times change, and it's exciting, but it's also overwhelming, and you know, again, you move with it, but the second you just go, no, I'm good, I got it. It's even like look at fitness, the way that diets and things have changed, and things people thought were good for you are not now, and you know, who knows? It's just, you know, you got to see for you. So what kind of stuff do you do with your tribe? I know obviously you have the clothing, but with the sense of community and stuff, like are you doing coaching with that? Are you just doing like overall like group stuff or?
Yeah, so we just did the 8-week transformation. So we gave them free workouts for 8 weeks, and they just had to follow along and do the workouts with us. But then we also because we're mostly online. So if we ever want to like meet in person, we'll do what we call a pop-up. So we'll go to a gym, we'll go to a park, we'll go do yoga, and we just ask everyone that's in the tribe, we're like, hey, we're going to be at this location, come work out with us, come join us. And everything we do, like you said, we want to make it affordable and fun. So it's always free. It's always just like, come work your ass off and then leave happy. So like, it's cool to like just watch everyone like come. And at first, like, people are like, I don't really know anyone. But then like people start bringing people like just show up. And it's an awesome thing to just watch people like blossom and the tribe just continue to grow. And we like do our pop-ups everywhere.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what's your website and stuff? Because I'm sure there's people that are especially wanting to be able to work out from home. Like, how can they start to see those things and get involved in those challenges and those meetings?
Yes, so it is online. Our website is klonapparel.com, and it's KLON apparel.com. And then you can follow us on Instagram. It's just Klon Apparel at Klon Apparel on Instagram. And we post when we do our challenges, we post when we're doing pop-ups, we post about sales, giveaways, all of that, because we want everyone involved in everything that we do.
On the down days, the days that things are not going good, or the days that you have, you know, like what are some of the things that you tell your students or you tell yourself besides just like, hey, you know, just worry about today? Like, especially, you know, I'm thinking about it for, you know, the people who are going through the mental stuff. Because for me, I feel like when I'm feeling mentally down and I'm feeling tired, the best thing I can do is go out and do like a 30-minute run. And then all of a sudden you just feel better. Like the physical stuff really does help the mental stuff. And I'm sure vice versa, that all goes there. So what are some things you can do or give people to keep them, just to get their ass off the couch, or make them put a little pep in their step or feel accountable on the days that they're feeling like being lazy? You know, like people look at me and they go, oh, I see you're posting that you're in California, you went to jiu-jitsu at 5 o'clock. I don't like getting up at 5 o'clock. And I'm like, yeah, neither do I. You know, like I don't enjoy doing that. Like,
getting up at 5, I want to say, no one likes that. No one.
Exactly. I'm cursing in my pillow, like, no, I don't want to get up like every single morning. But if you want a black belt, you don't get it by sitting in bed and making excuses. You know, it's the same thing. Like, you didn't get to where you're at. But I'm sure every day the easier thing to do is sit at home and watch Netflix. But you have to make those
Right.
choices.
Well, and that's the thing is like you don't get your black belt by sitting on your ass. So like if you want something, you have to go and do it. So take a shot of whatever you need to take a shot of, get up and go. Like even if it's like a walk around the house real quick, or if I can't get to the gym and I know that I'm like drained and so tired. So this is really silly. So if you have like a chapstick or a pen, you put it in your mouth and you bite it like long ways with your mouth, and you put it in your mouth for 5 minutes, and it increases your mood significantly because it forces your face to smile.
Really? Wow.
So I'm not kidding you. So next time that you feel like down or anything, put your pen in your mouth and hold it there for like 3 to 5 minutes and just like bite it. And because you're forcing your face to smile, even if you're just like RBF, you will like your mood increases significantly. So that's like one of my, I'm like at the computer, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sick of this. I can't handle it. I'll put my pen in my mouth and do that. Or I'll grab my kid and go for a walk or take her to the park for 10 minutes. Like even just being outside with the fresh air is sometimes all you need to reset and go. And then going to the gym, I don't want to go to the gym every day, but I know that I won't be able to maintain or meet goals that I have set for myself if I don't go. So if you want the black belt, get off your ass and get your black belt.
Yeah. Yeah. I say that stuff to the students, and the real estate stuff is like, if you want what we have, you have to do what we've done. Like it doesn't come without
Exactly.
that, like, and I would never ask anybody to do something I didn't do or wouldn't do. It's all the same stuff.
Exactly.
Touching on the family side of it too, how are you finding between your fitness goals and your business goals and being a student with Stacy and Jennifer and doing all the things that you're doing? How are you finding balance to work all these things into your day and still not be like hyper focused on one thing or being present in the moment for stuff? Like that's always one of the things that I'm asking people, because I feel like nobody's really had an answer. Everybody's a work in progress with that,
Right. Well, and I would say that I don't have a perfect answer because there are some days where I just drown myself in my work, or I'm like, fuck work today. It's all about family. Like I can't. But I would say my family, we live the same life. They come with me to the events that we're at. When I'm working, Evie has her own little desk that I sit her on, and we'll do like an hour at a time. So like work for an hour, and then we'll go play for an hour, and then we'll come back and work for an hour, and then we'll go play for an hour. And sometimes it doesn't work like that. And then she is like how we are. If we don't go to the gym, we're like cranky and like groggy, and Evie will be like, Mom, I think you need to go to the gym, and I want to go play, because she gets to play for the 2 hours that we're at the gym. So I would say making your family so involved with each other that like you do everything together. Like today we're at the amusement park and I had to leave to come do the podcast because we were excited about it. But like there's no perfect answer. There's no simple solution, but how we've made it work is we do everything together. So we work together, we play together, we are like a unit. We are a unit and we support each other in everything that we do. And that's how we make it work for us. So you just have to find what makes it work for your family.
That's awesome. And I guess that goes back to, finding 5 people that believe in you, that you can surround yourself with and take you on that same mission as you, that you involve them with. It makes it that much easier,
Exactly.
I see why you relate so well with Stacy and Jennifer, That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, I appreciate your time. I didn't know you took time out of the amusement park. I feel bad now for asking you to do
No,
it.
don't feel bad. Like I said, we work, we play, we do it all together.
That's cool. Well, I literally, again, sometimes like I'll talk to people on the computer and it's just a conversation, but I can feel all your energy and intensity through the computer. It's pretty awesome. And that's what I've heard from everybody, of like the second Stacy texted me about you and the second Nicole came home, she was like, I'm getting you on an email with her. You have to meet her. Like she was so awesome. So it's really cool. And again, both of those people, I hold them in very high regard, and they don't say that about everybody. And you made an instant impression on both of them. So
oh my God, that gives me chills. God, I love them.
Yeah. Well, I hope
Thank you.
to meet you soon. Thank you so much. Anything you want to plug you have going on? Anything, ways that they can meet you? I know you said Klon Apparel, KLON, right?
Yes, KLON Apparel.com is our website, or follow us on Instagram at Klon Apparel, and you'll see us and our faces all over it.
Okay, awesome. Is that how they would find your Facebook group and the tribe and everything like that too?
Yes. Everything's linked to everything. So if you find one thing, you'll be able to go right to the next.
Outstanding. Any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
You guys rock. You are enough. Keep fighting the good fight, kids.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. Alex Rodriguez, thank you so much. You bring your A game, and I appreciate the time. Have a great day at the amusement park, and thank you for doing this.
Thanks so much.